Let's go!
Hey everybody, Coach Scott here. Today I want to talk to you about a critically important subject about fear. And I've talked to you about this before in the past. I'm going to take a little different angle because fear is the biggest thing that holds people back when they're really trying to change. Because many of us think, well, what if it doesn't work? What if my decision doesn't work? Or what if my action doesn't work? Or what if things don't work out the way I want to? And when you understand that your decisions, when they're rooted in fear, it'll keep you exactly stuck, park right there in the middle of the road, and it'll keep you from moving forward. But I've learned that the key to overcoming fear is to recognize the fear as it is in the root of the fear, the seed of the fear. And there's a couple things. The first thing, fear of missing out. You heard me talk about FOMO before. Many of us can't stand the thought of missing activities or missing information, or missing even opportunities that come from time to time. And as a result, what we do is we struggle to keep up, to catch up, to find out new information, to find out what we missed, find out why we were not included, find out why we were not noticed, find out why we were not loved. And all of that is in the name of fear of missing out, which usually means overcommitting and constantly checking your emails and looking at all your social media, checking how many people liked it and how many people commented on it. But the solution to fear of missing out is really being present in the moment, noticing the things that are around you, noticing everybody in every situation, and being right there in that moment. It's the big picture, the little pictures, and all the tiny details that contribute to those type of moments. They make up the here and now. And it's easy to talk about being in the here and now, but it's very, very hard to put that into practice. But really, it's the only solution that I found out that can work with the fear of missing out. The second fear is the fear of disappointing others, trying to be a people person and a people pleaser. This is the fear that makes us say yes when we really need to say no. Because every time you say yes to something, you're actually saying no to something else. And it's that fear that keeps us quiet when we disagree with something. And it's that fear that leaves us feeling depleted and exhausted and even resentful at times. And when you're trying to always be a people pleaser, most of the time you are always familiar with the fear of pleasing others. But the truth is that other people's disappointment or their happiness has very little to do with you. You are not responsible for somebody else's happiness. You're only responsible for yours. So the fear of disappointing others is about setting boundaries and limits. People will often push those limits for you. They'll push those boundaries, but there's always one person who can set and honor your boundaries, and that is you. That's right, you're the one that has to set those boundaries. And when you do that, it'll be a reminder for others that your boundaries matter, that your life matters, that your thoughts matters. And what it'll do, it may inspire them to do the same thing, create their own goalposts, create their own boundaries. And then finally, the fear of trusting yourself. And if you're unsure about trusting yourself, it will be almost impossible for you to get over the fear of missing out or the fear of disappointing others, because staying present is hard enough as itself, and creating and enforcing your own boundaries will be very, very challenging. And if you're the type of person that looks for outward expression and outward validation for answers, and you often second guessing yourself, again, this is going to be very, very difficult for you to overcome those other fears. Because if you're running on autopilot, constantly reacting to what other people think about you, constantly reacting to the demands of your current situation and circumstances, you're going to lose track of who you are and what's important to you. And that's the only way to trust yourself more and listen to your heart. Because if you don't learn to trust your instincts and listen to your heart, then you're going to stay stuck right there in the middle of the road. And by the way, fear doesn't have to have the final say in your life. You can learn to embrace your faith instead. And that's the ultimate key to getting rid of fear, is replacing it with faith. faith. So today you can discover how you can overcome your fear once and for all. But in the natural, many times, we may be facing a situation that looks impossible, but you really have to think about looking at your circumstances as just your current situation and having nothing to do with your future opportunities and what's possible for your life. And God has equipped you, by the way. He's empowered you and He's anointed you to overcome. You are not a victim, you are a victor. So don't hold back. God is calling us right now to have a faith that's bigger than any fear in our life. And this is a new day. And God is saying the things you've been praying about, the things you've been believing for, the things you are hoping and wishing for and acting on, all things are possible to those who believe. But you then have to act on that belief. But all those things that I've promised you, they are going to come to pass. Because when God opens up a door in your life, when God gives you an opportunity, when God gives you the peace that passes all understanding, guess what? No man can stop that. No fear can stop that. And greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. And if you'll do that, I believe you can put those fears to rest. You can begin to overcome. You can begin to expand who you are. You can begin to really become the best and highest version of yourself. And if you'll do that, I believe and declare that you will be, and I shout it to the rooftop in the neighborhood with all the cars driving by, that you will be all that God has created you to be. So God bless you guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next video.